We've all been there. That deadline looms. Your to-do list grows longer, but instead of tackling your tasks, you find yourself checking social media, reorganizing your desk drawer, or suddenly feeling the urge to bake a cake. That's procrastination, the art of delaying tasks, even when we know it's not in our best interest. Procrastination isn't just about laziness. It's a complex dance between our minds and our goals. We often procrastinate because we're afraid of failure, overwhelmed by the task at hand, or simply seeking a temporary escape from stress. And while that quick scroll through Instagram might offer a fleeting moment of relief, it ultimately leads to increased anxiety, missed deadlines, and that nagging feeling of guilt. But here's the good news. Procrastination is a habit, not a life sentence. Just like any habit, it can be broken down, understood, and ultimately replaced with more productive patterns. By recognizing the triggers that lead to procrastination and implementing practical strategies, you can regain control of your time, boost your productivity, and finally achieve those long-awaited goals. Ready to break free from the procrastination cycle? Let's dive in. Procrastination isn't a one-size-fits-all phenomenon. There are various reasons why we fall into its trap. Understanding these underlying causes is the first step to overcoming this productivity killer. One common culprit is fear. We fear failure, judgment, or even success itself. Starting a new project or tackling a challenging task can trigger a wave of self-doubt. We start questioning our abilities, imagining all the ways things could go wrong, and ultimately, talking ourselves out of even trying. Another reason we procrastinate is a lack of clarity or direction. When we don't have a clear understanding of what needs to be done or how to approach a task, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and avoid it altogether. This often leads to us feeling scattered, jumping from one unfinished task to another without making any real progress. But perhaps the most pervasive reason for procrastination is our old friend, distraction. In today's hyper-connected world, distractions are lurking around every corner. From social media notifications to the endless stream of emails, it's easier than ever to get sidetracked and lose sight of our priorities. These distractions offer a tempting escape from the often uncomfortable feeling of having to focus and get things done. Fear is a powerful motivator, but it can also be a major roadblock to productivity. When we allow fear to dictate our actions, we often end up trapped in a cycle of procrastination. Think about a time you procrastinated on a task. Were you afraid of failing? Were you worried about what others might think? Fear can manifest in many forms: fear of judgment, fear of the unknown, even fear of success. Recognizing these fears is the first step to overcoming them. One effective way to combat fear-based procrastination is to break down large, overwhelming tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. This not only makes the task seem less daunting, but also allows you to celebrate small victories along the way, boosting your confidence and motivation. Another helpful strategy is to reframe your perspective on failure. Instead of viewing it as a negative outcome, try to see it as an opportunity for growth and learning. Embrace the idea that mistakes are inevitable and use them as stepping stones to improvement. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. By acknowledging your fears and developing strategies to manage them, you can break free from their grip and move forward with confidence. Perfectionism might sound like a positive trait, but it can be a sneaky form of self-sabotage. When we strive for perfection in every task, we set ourselves up for disappointment and procrastination. The pursuit of perfection often leads to analysis paralysis. We get so caught up in the details, striving for flawlessness, that we never actually finish anything. We become our own worst critics, constantly finding faults and imperfections, preventing us from ever feeling truly satisfied with our work. The key to overcoming perfectionism is to shift our focus from outcome to process. Instead of aiming for an unattainable standard of perfection, concentrate on putting in the effort and enjoying the journey. Remember, done is better than perfect. Set realistic expectations for yourself and embrace the idea of good enough. Not every task requires your absolute best effort. Sometimes it's okay to prioritize efficiency over perfection. And remember, it's always easier to go back and improve something that's already done than to start from scratch. Taming your tasks. One of the most effective ways to beat procrastination is to develop a system for managing your tasks and your time. This involves breaking down large projects into smaller, more manageable steps, prioritizing your to-do list, and creating a schedule that works for you. Start by identifying your peak productivity periods. Are you a morning person or a night owl? Schedule your most challenging tasks for the times when you're most alert and focused. Break down large projects into smaller, more manageable chunks and set realistic deadlines for each step. Prioritize your tasks based on their importance and urgency. Use a planner, to-do list app, or even a simple notebook to keep track of your commitments and deadlines. Avoid multitasking as it can actually decrease your productivity and lead to more errors. Instead, focus on completing one task at a time before moving on to the next. Remember, the key to effective time management is to create a system that works for you and your unique work style. Experiment with different methods and tools until you find what helps you stay organized, focused, and productive. The 5-second rule. Procrastination is often a battle between our impulsive emotional brain and our rational logical mind. In these moments of internal conflict, we need a tool to help us bridge the gap and take action. That's where the 5-second rule comes in. The 5-second rule is simple. When you have an instinct to act on a goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds or your brain will kill it. The moment you feel yourself hesitate, count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then take immediate action. This technique works by interrupting the procrastination cycle before it takes hold. By counting down and taking immediate action, you prevent your brain from coming up with excuses and justifications for why you should delay. The 5-second rule can be applied to any area of your life where you struggle with procrastination. Whether it's getting out of bed in the morning, starting a difficult conversation, or finally tackling that project you've been putting off, this simple tool can help you overcome hesitation and take control. Finding your flow. Flow state, also known as being in the zone, is a state of complete absorption in an activity. It's that magical feeling when time seems to fly by, and you're completely immersed in what you're doing. When you're in flow, you're not only more productive, but also more creative, engaged, and fulfilled. One of the best ways to find your flow is to identify activities that you genuinely enjoy and that play to your strengths. What are you naturally drawn to? What tasks do you lose track of time while doing? Once you've identified these activities, make time for them regularly. Create an environment that supports focus and concentration. This might mean finding a quiet workspace, minimizing distractions, or listening to calming music. Set clear goals for each work session and break down larger tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks. Remember, finding your flow takes practice and experimentation. Pay attention to what works for you and don't be afraid to adjust your approach as needed. The rewards of action. Overcoming procrastination isn't just about getting things done. It's about unlocking a world of possibilities and living a more fulfilling life. When you break free from the shackles of procrastination, you open yourself up to a wealth of rewards. One of the most immediate benefits is reduced stress and anxiety. Procrastination often leads to feelings of guilt, overwhelm, and a constant sense of being behind. By tackling tasks head-on, you eliminate these negative emotions and create a sense of calm and control in your life. Increased productivity is another major advantage. When you're no longer bogged down by procrastination, you free up time and mental energy to focus on your goals and make progress towards your dreams. This can lead to greater career success, improved relationships, and a greater sense of accomplishment. But perhaps the most significant reward of overcoming procrastination is the boost in self-confidence and self-esteem that comes with it. Every time you push past procrastination and take action, you prove to yourself that you're capable of overcoming challenges and achieving your goals. Your journey to productivity. Remember, overcoming procrastination is not a destination, but a journey. There will be days when you fall back into old habits, and that's okay. The key is to be kind to yourself, learn from your setbacks, and keep moving forward. Start by implementing one or two of the strategies outlined in this essay. Focus on making small, consistent changes over time, and celebrate your progress along the way. Surround yourself with supportive people who encourage your growth and hold you accountable. The journey to productivity is a marathon, not a sprint. Be patient with yourself, embrace the process, and never underestimate the power of taking that first step. Thanks for watching. On behalf of the entire Meaningful Pursuits team, we're grateful for your support. Hit like, share, and subscribe to never miss our next update.